JLR. JLR investigates. Come on in, everyone. We got a developing situation in Indiana. Let's talk. Let's talk. There has been a missing 17-year-old teen girl who has been missing now since June, but I think she has been found, and it's not good, folks. This is not good. Come on in. Get yourself something to drink. We're going to talk about this case. Authorities are giving a press conference this afternoon. What are we talking about, folks? What are we talking about? We are talking about the case of Valerie Tindall. Valerie Tindall. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this case. I kind of heard about it, but there has been some major developments overnight. Major developments overnight in reference to this case. The Rush County Sheriff announced a news conference for 2 p.m. to share a major case development in the June disappearance of 17-year-old Valerie Tindall. This after another search of the home of her neighbor boss, Patrick Scott. Jail records show Scott was booked on a MUR-DER charge. This is big, folks. This is big. I don't know if you guys heard about this case. This is the first time we talked about this specific case on JLR Investigate. So let's get some backstory. Let's get some information and share. We're also going to watch the press conference. But this is a situation here. I'm going to show another reporter put out the mugshot of the guy that got arrested. This neighbor guy who apparently Valerie was like mowing his lawn and working for him. So we're going to talk. Breaking. A man connected to missing teenager Valerie Tindall has been booked into the Rush County Jail on a preliminary charge of MUR-DER. However, we can't confirm that it's connected to Valerie's case. It's connected. I mean, the authorities are there, and I'm going to show you pictures. Authorities are there. She hasn't been seen or heard from since June. Patrick Scott was already facing a charge of false information in connection to her disappearance. Federal agents were at his property today, and Valerie's father said he was told that human remains were found on the property. The Rush County Sheriff's Office is holding a press conference. It'll be 2 p.m. I believe it's Central. It could be Eastern. I don't know their time zone out there, but I will look into it. The Rush County Sheriff's Office is holding a press conference tomorrow to announce a major development in the case. We'll be there and let you know what happens. So they attached a photo of him. This is him. I believe he's in his 50s. He got arrested. And then here is a screenshot from Valerie's family. And this says, "Okay, everyone, Pat has been taken to jail, and the police just informed us that they have found human remains on the property. Thanks to everyone for your help and prayers, and I am devastated. And I don't know what else to say. I lost my Mimi. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. You know, it's a family. Apparently, the police are going to tell family before they tell the public what's going on. So he went out and said that she has been found, the remains. So what's going on with this case? Let's get some information, right? Let's get some information about this particular case here, because we're going to pay attention. We're going to pay attention. How did this happen? Why did this happen? What's the circumstances that led up to little Valerie's disappearance? What happened? What happened? Well, here is a news story. There's a couple news stories I'm going to read to try to get us an understanding of the situation based off news reports. Federal agents search property of man tied to missing Rush County teen. Jail records show Patrick Scott has been booked into the Rush County Jail on a preliminary charge of MUR-DER. Fox 59 CBS 4 is investigating to determine if the charge is related to the disappearance of Valerie. Well, Valerie's family's basically said he's been put into custody and human remains have been found of her. So it looks like it is connected. The Rush County Sheriff's Office announced it is holding a press conference tomorrow, which is today at 2 p.m., to share a major case development. And they emphasized major case development in connection to the disappearance. So here's the article. The search continues for missing 17-year-old Valerie Tindall as police descend upon a property of an Arlington man who has already been charged with false information in connection to the missing person case. Rush County teenager Valerie Tindall vanished into obscurity 5 months ago on June 7th. Valerie's mother, Sheena Sanfor, lamented previously that so far the continued search for her daughter hasn't even turned up proof that Valerie is still alive. Here she is. She's a really good person, a sweet kid. She worked hard to get her grades up. She was going to go to college. She was accepted, said the mother. And now she'll never have that chance. On Tuesday, yesterday, folks, federal agents joined local police in searching Patrick Scott's property in Arlington. This isn't the first time police have searched his property in connection with Valerie's disappearance. Previously, authorities searched a pond located on the Arlington man's property. It sounds like a situation, if you first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, right? It seems like a situation where they were already there and didn't find nothing and then went back and now found human remains. That's why it's important sometimes with some of these missing people out there where authorities, have ideas of where they are in some suspects' homes and they search and they don't find nothing to re-go and search. Unless they got some credible information. Maybe some cellular data was part of this. We don't know. Trying to get some more information. Let's get some more information on this case. According to court documents and Valerie's family, the 17-year-old worked for Scott, mowing lawns in the summer, and lived next to the man. Police said Valerie was reportedly seen with Scott the day she disappeared and that Scott was reportedly seen driving Valerie's car. This is a given, folks. This is a given. Right? Next door neighbor. Now, I have a lot of questions, but we're going to still, share what they're saying. Court documents reveal that Scott was questioned by police in the days after her disappearance. He at first lied to officers about the last time he saw Valerie, saying it was on Tuesday, and claimed he hadn't seen her car. Scott later admitted to being with Valerie on Wednesday, June 7th, however, while also telling police he had driven Valerie's car and parked it at the Berwick Apartments in Shelbyville. So he's getting rid of her car, it looks like. Why would he do that? Scott claimed he had dropped off Valerie in Homer on June 7th, where he last saw her get into a pale blue car with an unknown male who he couldn't see well. He claimed the blue car then drove toward the direction of Rushville. So he's pointing the finger. He's blaming another person for this. That's what it looks like. He's saying, oh, well, she's last seen, getting into a pale blue car with an unknown male. I couldn't see the male. But he was on, he ended up getting charged with lying, falsifying information. In that sense. According to court documents, phone records show Valerie's last known whereabouts before her phone went dead as being close to Arlington, not Homer. Scott told police he drove Valerie's car to the apartment on Thursday and went by at least twice to check to see if the car was still parked there. On Tuesday, as federal agents searched Scott's property, Valerie Tindall's mother told Fox 59 that a witness told the family that Scott told Valerie he was taking her to lunch in Indianapolis the day she disappeared. Scott reportedly told the 17-year-old that he was going to take her someplace special. This account of events isn't mentioned in Scott's multiple June interviews with police. What's going on here? Small town, Rushville. Where is Rushville? Let's get Rushville on the map so we can have an idea where it's at. We're going to put Rushville on the map. Rushville, Indiana. Rushville, Indiana. So we can kind of get just an idea of what we're looking at. Small town stuff, man. Small town. Delphi, Indiana. Rushville. Rushville. All right, so where is Rushville? Let me put in the map here, and then we'll zoom out. So it looks like it is near these small towns. My computer is loading slow, but we'll get to it. Looks like it's right outside Indianapolis, folks. Rushville is right here. This is Rushville. Arlington, right? These are the towns. And look at Indianapolis. So it kind of gives you an idea. It's a suburb, I would say 30 miles maybe, 20 miles, something like that, southeast of Indianapolis. It's a little small area between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. That's what it looks like in this general area. So now we got an idea, right? We got an idea of where this location is located. So just to get you a mental 50 miles from Indy. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah, I didn't actually see the distance. Matter of fact, let me put in the distance just to see. Let me just see exactly. One person here said, Lindsay said 50 miles. We'll see. We'll confirm. Indianapolis. What do we got? Yep, you're right. You're right. 50 miles. The area is about 50 miles. 50 miles to the southeast. So that's Indianapolis. This looks like these are the areas here. Arlington, Rushville type of thing. All right, so now we know that. We know that. Now we have an idea where this is at. Neighbor, next door neighbor, folks. So in those interviews that Scott gave with authorities back in June, this is what he told police. So police had their eye on this guy, right? Police had the eye on this guy. This guy was the prime suspect since the beginning, right? In those interviews, Scott said he met up with Valerie at South High Gardens condominiums in Shelbyville on June 7th, and the two departed in his landscaping truck and trailer. Scott told police that on the way to Rush County, Valerie asked him to stop in Homer, where she got out and into a car with another individual. Scott told police he didn't know where Valerie was and gave officers his phone to search. Police found the text messages sent by Valerie on Scott's phone were sent at 11:23 a.m. on June 7th and said, "I'll be there soon." Scott wrote her back twice at 5:40 p.m. on June 7th and June 8th at 2:46, asking where she was. Police said that there was no response from Valerie, however, on Scott's phone. So this is interesting, right? Did he concoct these messages and act like, oh, where are you? Where are you? Because he knew his phone was going to be searched. The mother of Valerie claimed Scott kept track of her daughter's whereabouts using his iPhone. However, saying she and her husband felt like Scott tracked her life as a jealous boyfriend. And here's a statement from the mother. She come home one day and said he had her on a 360, which I didn't even know what it was. And I said, "What was that?" And she says, "Where he tracks their phone because they all had the iPhone." And I said, "Why does he have you on that? You're not his family. Why is he tracking you?" And she said, "I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it." "Really? Like you don't see nothing wrong with that?" "I thought that was very peculiar. And then he would call my husband every time she was out doing something and tell him, 'Oh, she's out here. She's out here.' Like he was upset about it almost, and he wanted her over here." This is wow, folks. I mean, I have a lot of questions, but we're gonna continue to try to get some information. The mother said Scott tore down and burned a garage on his property at 2 a.m. in the weeks following her daughter's disappearance. Interesting. He burned a garage on his property at 2 a.m. the weeks following her disappearance. So, burn down a garage. Why would you burn down a garage on your own property? "Who tears down a garage at 2 o'clock in the morning?" the mother said. "Exactly," she responded. Scott, who recently turned 59, remains free on bond after his arrest on misdemeanor count of false information. He faces a trial in January. So he had falsifying information to authorities about the situation, was out on bond, but he's not out on bond now, folks. This man has been arrested, and human remains have been found on the property. Very, very sad situation out. And we're going to play this press conference when it comes on. But now I have some questions. And this is not, I want to know, why would the family allow the 17-year-old girl to hang out with a 59-year-old man that lives next door? It seems like, I don't know. Like, if you had, let me just say, if you had a 17-year-old daughter or a teenager, would you let your teenager hang out with this guy? Would you let your teenager hang out with this guy? Now, we're not, whatever the situation is, the situation, we feel very, very bad for the victims' families and everything like that. I just have questions. And that's a logical question, right? We can ask these type of questions. How in the world, as a parent, say, oh, yeah, you can go work for this guy. You can go help mow his lawn. Unless he didn't have the beard at the time, unless he was more clean cut. I didn't even do an extensive search on this guy at this time. I don't know what his record is, if he has any at all. He might not have any. How long was she doing this for? Like, how long was she next door mowing lawns with this guy? And it looks like this guy had some sort of relationship with her. Next door neighbor, folks. I didn't hear about this case. I personally did not hear about this case. And authorities, according to news reports, they are like on the property. Federal agents were on this property. And let me get you the address, the actual block address. But they're all there, and they're still there now, the way I'm seeing it. Sad. And usually, when these things happen, Charlotte Senna was a different example, though that was a neighbor. Craig Ross ended up being a neighbor of the Sennas. But usually it's someone really close when these things happen. Like, the rarity of a total, absolute stranger is like, the odds are very, very low. It's always someone close. Usually. So it is on the Oak Street in Arlington, the 2000 block of Oak Street in Arlington. Let me put it up on a map just to give you guys an idea of where they're searching right now. The 2000th block of Oak Street. It's at Oak Street in Arlington. Arlington is right outside of Rushville. It's a little bit closer to... all right, so... I mean, this is a small town. This is a small town, folks. This is a small town. And if you zoom out, which I'll do, this was Rushville here. This is Arlington, which is just a small town, and this is Indianapolis. So they're searching a property here on the 2000th block of Oak Street. And let me zoom in. But look at that. Look at. It's just one highway, little Highway 52 that runs through. And look, this is the town. It's just basically a few blocks. It's not really a... Look, they even have a general store. Do they even have a traffic light in that town? Maybe they have one. Right? But it doesn't look like there is many things here. A general store. Just one of these small... Arlington is 5 minutes from Rushville. So they're on Oak Street right now, the 2000 block, and they're searching the property. What else are they going to uncover? If is there more? Is there any other missing people in that area? Again, for people who are just jumping on, the family is confirmed human remains have been found. The family is confirmed. The Tindall family. This is a statement that they put out. So we'll hear more at a 2 p.m. press conference. What I plan to do is share it. So I'll get that together. I'm assuming what's the time zone there? That's Eastern time though, isn't it? So in about 4 hours. So That seems like that's the speed. In the meantime, I'll do a background check on this guy and try to get more information out about this situation here in outside Indianapolis. But they're there. Obviously, they found something, and it's just a sad situation, right? Praying for the Tyndale family, praying for that whole community, because when you have these things in these little towns, it shocks the whole town to the core. And maybe we'll learn some insight. Maybe we'll learn some insight about this person, right? All right, I'm JLR Investigates. Now you got the information. We'll talk in a bit. Stay tuned for that. Wild world, man. How can anyone do these things to children? Teenager, man. So sad, right? Guy was 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. This dude was like 40 years older. Dude was like 40 years older than her. Man, scary. Scary. And if you're a parent out there, just be vigilant on who you're, I'm just giving you some advice. Be vigilant on who your children are associating with. Maybe even get their phone and look in their phone. Just make sure everything's good. Because, Delphi, Indiana, another tragedy in a small town in Indiana, and, you got people like the Keegan Kleins. You got people like the Keegan Kleins of the world, right? Trying to lure and pretend they're younger dudes. And it's scary, folks. It's scary. These adult predators. Predators, man. Predators. What do you have? What does a 50-something-year-old man have in common with a 17-year-old? Like, what can you say that, hey, we click, we have chemistry? What in the world? How does that even make sense? It doesn't. It doesn't. You have not, like, these dudes that are like twice these people ages and all into like, don't get me started on this. You guys have a very good day. We'll talk soon. I'll play the press conference when it comes out. Mike said sugar daddy. It's just wow. I don't think he has a lot of money. His property doesn't even look like it's worth $100,000. Stacy says it's called grooming. I concur. All right, be safe. We'll talk soon. JLR Investigates.